Chairman. It's an honor and a privilege to bring the NASA 2018 authorization to this committee today. Just over a year ago, the 2017 NASA Transition Authorization Act was signed into law, representing a clear bipartisan commitment to our nation's space program. That law established, and this bill continues to honor, three very important provisions: continuity of purpose, clear long-term goals for exploration, and a balanced space science portfolio. NASA must stay the course on future exploration while preserving our advancements in low Earth orbit. The first urgent question is the future of the International Space Station. The ISS is the jewel and the crown of America's space program. As a representative of the hardworking men and women of Johnson Space Center, I know how important the ISS is to our nation. The administration, in response to congressional direction in 2017, has provided a proposal for ISS transition. It is too early to say how or when the transition will occur, but the recent report outlines a credible course of action and early initial steps. I support the administration carrying out these first steps, but it is critically important that we see a more detailed plan before steps are taken to sunset the ISS. The bill directs NASA to continue the operation of the ISS for such time as Congress authorizes. It prevents the administration from pursuing any international agreements that would tie the hands of future Congresses. The administrator must report directly to this committee every 3 months on the status of the ISS transition. In other words, the ISS must be transitioned, but not before we, as a nation, are ready to do so. This bill provides funding for the SLS and Orion programs at omnibus levels, signaling that we will support the programs as they move towards realization. It also explicitly authorizes and directs development of a second mobile launch platform to increase safety, reduce delays, and provide flexibility for exploration. These and other measures provide a strong foundation, fostering a whole of government, indeed a whole of nation approach to space. As Vice President Pence said yesterday, space exploration is essential to our national security. It's essential to our nation's prosperity, and it is essential to the very character of America. I have and continue to support the idea of a balanced space program. We must also understand that balanced means not only balanced within NASA, but also balanced across government. Within the proposed authorization levels, NASA's science portfolio is 30% of NASA's budget. This is consistent with both the omnibus and the President's budget request. In planetary science, this bill increases spending for the kind of science that only NASA can do, and for which NASA is the first and perhaps the only customer, such as Mars sample return and missions to Europa. In a responsible way, Earth science is correspondingly reduced. The administration is directed to provide NASA reimbursement for work undertaken for the benefit of other agencies, such as the development of particular Earth science systems. This will allow NASA continuing working on missions like Landsat without undermining its exploration mission. NASA fills an essential and irreplaceable role for our country. It is the only agency to send humans to the surface of another celestial body, to send spacecraft to every planet in the solar system, and to send probes into interstellar space. I want to thank Chairman Smith for his leadership and guidance in reaffirming our national commitment to the exploration and use of space. I strongly recommend this bill and urge my colleagues to actively support it. And before I yield back to the Chairman, without an objection, I'd like to place the following letters and statements of support in the record from a number of organizations, including the Aerospace Industries Association, American Society for Gravitational and Space Research, Association of Universities for Research in Astronomy, Astrobotic, Bay Area Houston Economic Partnership, Boeing, Commercial Spaceflight Federation, Made in Space, Moon Express, NanoRacks, National Space Grant Alliance, Texas A&M University System, Vector Space Systems, Virginia Commercial Spaceflight Authority, and Space Florida. I request to enter these 15 letters and statements into the record without objection.
Without objection, that list of individual organizations, companies, and stakeholders who endorse the bill will be made a part of the record.
Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Babin. The gentleman from California, the ranking member of the Space Subcommittee, Mr. Baer, is recognized for an opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The importance of our investments in